if he's right and President Trump does remove that, it's a huge boon for physical metals and physical metal holders. Another thing to see it delivered. And whether or not it leaves the COMEX or just moves to eligible, not registered, it's massive. The biggest money in the world is telling you that something's afoot with gold and silver, of short selling metal that they do not have. So yeah, it's a huge deal when you're seeing $8 billion worth of gold delivered. And you know, in the March contract, there was north of $4 billion delivered. And every single month, we're seeing massive amounts delivered.
In today's news recap, DeSantis signs bill recognizing gold, silver coins as legal tender in Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill on Tuesday to recognize gold and silver as legal tender in Florida and make them free from sales tax. Under HB 999, gold and silver coins that meet specific purity standards can be used for payments, NBC affiliate WESH reports. So you're going to be able to conduct transactions in these precious metals, DeSantis said, at a news conference in Apopka. The governor said the Sunshine State would be the largest to sign such legislation. State Representative Bill Bankson from Apopka sponsored the bill. He said it aims to eliminate the tax burden and make it a functional means of transaction between willing parties. Florida stands firmly for freedom, economic self-determination, and resistance to government overreach. But for too long, outdated regulations and unnecessary sales taxes have made it impractical for Floridians to enter the gold and silver market. The governor wrote in a post on X, I signed HB 999 today to change that by initiating the process to recognize gold and silver as legal tender in our state and with rule ratification from the legislature free from sales tax. The new rules would have to be ratified by the state legislature. If lawmakers agree, the law would take effect on July 1st, 2026. Now we'll show you the best clips of the latest interview. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you do not miss out our daily recaps. And check goldsilverstacks.com to get your Stacker's Handbook, the ultimate guide to stack gold and silver, packed with strategies to trade the gold-silver ratio and get more ounces and build wealth over time so you don't have to rely on market commentators to make your investment decisions. Enjoy the episode.
And we continue to see this month over month over month. The amount of gold coming into the country is off the chain. It really is. And this was the largest delivery in a non-active delivery month ever in the history of the COMEX market. And we saw also, you know, the same thing happen with silver, which is an active month. It was the largest silver delivery. But for gold, it was 25,401 contracts delivered so far. So if we take 25,401 times 100, that's times 3,250 bucks. All right, so that's 3. So that's 8,255,325,000. So almost $8.3 billion worth of gold was delivered. And one of the things that I read that was very interesting today was that there's 1 day left which is for the last notice of the May contract, and there's 526 contracts that are still open. What the author was basically saying, and let me give him credit too, just a second. Let me just look at my email. I want to give him proper credit. I read it in just this afternoon. Gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Crud. I don't have it. I like to give credit where credit is due. I don't see it. Well, I guess that's neither here. Oh, Michael Lynch. Michael Lynch is very good. And he said that there's 526 contracts that are undelivered. It's one of the highest ever with the last day notice. Normally there's just a handful, if that, of contracts that have not settled. What he is saying is that this is an indication that a short does not have metal to deliver, as usually there's only a few contracts remaining at this point. I'm not predicting a default, as the short will almost certainly come up with some metal. However, this is an indication of short selling metal that they do not have. So yeah, it's a huge deal when you're seeing $8 billion worth of gold delivered, and in the March contract there was north of $4 billion delivered, and every single month we're seeing massive amounts delivered. This is an anomaly to the nth degree. So something big is happening with gold here in the United States, and with silver, as May was the largest delivery of silver ever. It was also the second or third largest delivery of silver from a bank to a non-bank participants, from banks to non-bank participants, hedge funds, family offices, etc. There's big money, and it's not just the bullion banks this time. Who these participants are, I'm not quite sure, but something big is happening with gold and silver on the COMEX.
In today's news recap, Citi bullish on gold, Americans purchase hit record high. Citi, the American multinational lender, reaffirmed its short-term gold price target at $3,500 an ounce, citing the recent increase in tariffs and significant geopolitical risks. According to a note released on Sunday, the bank raised its estimate of gold prices from $3,000 to $3,300 per ounce to a range of $3,100 to $3,500 per ounce. The U.S. bank maintains its long-term cautious approach to gold despite the upgrade. The bank cites two main explanations: the potential for growth and associated equity risks diminishing as U.S. households now own more gold than they had in 50 years. The Federal Reserve lowers interest rates, and the midterm elections draw near. The short-term price targets for palladium and platinum remain $1,050 and $900 per ounce, respectively. Citi believes that a sustained upward trend requires a genuine improvement in end-use demand, and the recent platinum rally is viewed as headline-driven. The palladium rally represents yet another opportunity, according to the bank. Citi has maintained a bullish outlook on gold, initially increasing its target price to $3,500 per ounce in April 2025. On April 22nd, concerns about the Federal Reserve's independence caused the price of gold to surpass its previous record. Citi called for a period of consolidation for gold prices as trade tensions began to de-escalate and lowered its short-term target to $3,150 per ounce, which was reached on May 15th. In the second half of 2025, Citi predicts that gold prices will continue to stabilize at their current levels. Now we'll show you the best clips of the latest interview, but first, smash the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and check our new Numismatics Handbook. Most stackers want to get active, but swapping their metals for dollars isn't an option. There's plenty of opportunities in the overlooked numismatics world. Mastering U.S. coins, key dates, and errors pays off by multiplying your ounces and capitalizing where others aren't paying attention.
Another thing to see it delivered. And whether or not it leaves the COMEX or just moves to eligible, not registered, it's massive. The biggest money in the world is telling you that something's afoot with gold and silver, and so the public should be aware of it. But as Robert Kiyosaki always says to me, Andy, people can't get out of the way of what they don't see coming. And you got 120,000 people follow you, and but that's nothing compared to the people that are watching Fox News or CNN or CNBC or whatever these channels are that don't talk about these hugely pivotal things. They're missing out, and that's, God bless someone like yourself who's been doing this for a long time, and sticking your family name and your neck out there and talking about this stuff. This is huge. It's one of the biggest developments of my 35-year career. 100%. It legitimizes everything that we've ever talked about on a scale that I didn't think we'd see. So it's amazing, and I just want to thank Daniel and Rob and all the people in this effort to bring this to a head where it's now actually real. So let's just pretend for a moment that they don't change that law. The demand for American Eagles will be off the hook. So I think that there's a lot to be said for owning the American coins, and people live in those states. If it doesn't pass, they can always trade their Krugerrands or their Maple Leafs or their Kangaroos into American Eagles or bars. So there's work around, but what he has done is something that should be applauded by all of us. The effort that they've done, Rob Keens and all the guys that are involved with that group, hats off. Never quite thought about it that way, but to be taxed on the depreciation of the dollar is really in essence what it is. About the bill, he said, gold and silver continue to move higher. So, when you add that in, like for example, on the Glint app, at the end of the year, you get a statement from one of the big accounting companies that details what was a taxable gain and what wasn't, or a loss rather. But that's one of the issues with all of this gold and silver that is transactional, whether it be digital or not. You have federal capital gains taxes. So certainly it would be nice if he's right and President Trump does remove that. It's a huge boon for physical metals and physical metal holders. And we shouldn't be taxed. I mean, if I can go from Canada to the United States with 240 gold maple leafs on me and get through customs without reporting because that $12,000 face value at the time was valued at $9,700 because of exchange rates, they'd let me come into the country with 240 gold maple leafs, which are $50 face value, with no reporting. So the legal tender aspect is real. We shouldn't be taxed on it any more than if you had junk silver, dimes, and quarters and went and spent them at the Publix grocery store here in Florida and would be responsible for paying capital gains taxes. Although, it would be difficult to track that one. The point of it is it just shouldn't be the case with legal tender. So I think that's certainly a worthy cause to get behind, and I'm thank you for having him on tonight with us.
What do you think of Andy's take? Do you agree with him? How do you think this move to legalize gold and silver in Florida will affect prices? Will this be the ultimate catalyst? Gold and silver stackers need to see their stack be worth a gazillion worthless dollars? Post in the comments section down below your honest opinion and share this video with a stacker. Now, check this video right here because you'll love it. I'll see you on the other side.